Awesome. So I'm just going to put out a quick little poll thanks to Melissa's video before we get started here. So thank you so much. Okay, great. And I'm going to launch that. So it should be live for you there now. So it looks like everybody got the chance. So this is where we're at. I'll share those results for you. So it looks like a little bit of familiarity, maybe not a ton with essential oils. Maybe you heard of them, and it looks like everybody's really down for the immune boosting. So I'm really excited to talk about that area. So the power of essential oils. So we're going to be going through a couple different learning outcomes with our time together. By the end of the session, I'm hoping that you'll be able to identify some benefits of essential oils, differentiate essential oils by their remedial purpose, and then produce a blend that's specifically supportive of your wellness needs. To kind of give you a bit of a background before we jump in as to how essential oils work, we've got our why scent. So I've got a picture here of the human brain and skull as to what this looks like. So we want scent for a couple things. Is when you inhale essential oils or any other scents, they're going to hit right into that olfactory system, which is going to really trigger the limbic system for things like behavior and emotional response of the brain. When you're smelling things, it is going to trigger that response for you, maybe bring up old memories or give your body an immediate sensation, whether or not it's good for you. So you've got all kinds of your limbic nerves here with the olfactory bulb that goes into the brain. Very uncommon that people wouldn't have an olfactory bulb, but if you don't have one, you actually don't have the ability to have scent. So going into that, the next area that we're really going to kind of hit is going to be around the remedial focus of immune boosting. I love this topic because I think it's something that's such a preventative area, but can also be really supportive for you if you're feeling under the weather. So I've highlighted 4 essential oils that are commonly found blended together and are really powerful in both their plant material or in an essential oil format. So eucalyptus, commonly sourced in things like Australia, also found really heavily in islands off the US. So Hawaii is a really big supplier of eucalyptus, great for clearing congestion and mucus, as well as soothing respiratory discomfort. This is a really big one that almost gives like a cooling sensation, but can also give an opposite effect for anybody that struggles with asthma, almost causing a bit of coughing that comes from the chest. Tea tree is another really big one here. This is an essential oil that is great for cough suppression and symptoms related to bronchitis. Back in World War II, soldiers were provided with a vial of tea tree oil in Australia for its antiviral and antifungal properties, just like a really big part of their toolkit in terms of natural healing to cut both costs and provide people with an opportunity that were deep in the trenches. So I love that about tea tree. You're going to find this a lot in different skincare products for those with acne-prone skin, great for drying up any kind of bacterial infections. Cinnamon is an interesting one. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't put this towards immune boosting. It's quite a warm, spicy scent, really great for relief of sinus pain and sore throats. When we talk about the inhalation of cinnamon, you'll often kind of feel it throughout the throat area to relieve that, and almost produces a warming sensation. And the last one there is lemon. So lots of cold and flu symptoms. Again, the antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties of this. A lot of the properties that come from immune boosting oils, you'll see I've got a picture of eucalyptus leaves on the side here, come in several different varieties. Often they're green. So tea tree is going to be a green bush. Cinnamon, most people will source from the leaves instead of the bark for its efficacy. And then lemon, of course, is a citrus-based oil. How do you feel about immune? Any questions about this? Okay.
I'm surprised by the cinnamon. like you said.
Yeah, cinnamon,
Yeah.
right? It's so awesome. Yeah. So
the other ones like totally get the cinnamon. Like, okay.
yeah, right. Throw that little zinger in there. But yeah, these are awesome. If you ever are interested in mixing your own, I highly recommend like 1 to 20 drops in like a carrier oil, which would be considered jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, coconut, things that'll make it safe to apply to your skin. But awesome just for that topical application, or just like dabbing it underneath the nose to breathe it in.
Just wondering,
Mhm.
can you mix them together and use it together, or it's okay, or you have to do it like one type at a time?
That's a really good question. Yeah. So essential oils work very synergistically together. They're often better when they're blended because you're going to get different benefits by different essential oils. So by all means, it's unlike a prescription where you want to be really cautious blending. Usually it's fine to go forward with these. The only one that I always consider to be a little bit more careful on with the essential oils is around things like lemon. Citrus oils are commonly known to be phototoxic. So if you apply them to your skin and go in the sun, you have a higher likelihood of experiencing any kind of burning on the skin. Yeah, great question. Awesome. Okay. The next area that we're going to move forward to is around the remedial category of stress and sleep. This is a really big one that I feel like affects all kinds of different demographics based on jobs, where you're at in your life, but it is common for everyone. So I've highlighted 4 essential oils here. Some of them you're probably quite familiar with, lavender being the big picture in the background, just great for relaxation and symptoms related to burnout and stress. Generally, if you smell this and you almost get like a dizzy, lightheaded sensation, that may be because you're already experiencing low blood pressure. Lavender is really known to pull that down. So often people with low blood pressure already will have that sensation when smelling the oil. Roman chamomile is really fantastic. They're little flowers. You're going to commonly find this chamomile tea. Like a lot of people drink that before bed as a calming agent. Super great as nervous sedative and a lot more gentle. So great to use around little babies in a really low dilution format and in diffusers, not topical application. Rose is an interesting one. I don't feel like a lot of people relate rose to stress and sleep, but however, rose is great for any kind of hormone shifts that are causing insomnia or stress in your day. And it's known as nature's antidepressant. So with this oil, it's really quite pricey if you try and source this one. I know usually it's about $100 plus. It takes 60 rose petals to get 1 drop of essential oil. So it yields a really high quantity of floral content in order to be able to produce such an expensive oil. And then cedarwood is another common one you'll find in a lot of sleep blends, particularly for children because it's a little bit more gentle, but also for adults just for that anxiety reduction and really powerful for a restful sleep. That one's going to be more earthy. So a lot of people will tend to use cedarwood in more spiritual practices like meditation, yoga, or any kind of grounding exercises. Do you have any questions about sleep at all?
There are like so many different type of essential oils, and I'm pretty sure there's lots of different companies. Like when you shop for essential oils, like how can you tell if essential oil it's good quality? Like when you buy this like the cedarwood, how can you tell if this specific this specific brand or that does the thing that you do instead of just some mediocre or second grade essential oil?
That's a really good question. So one thing to know is when you're searching for them, often the bottle will show you like 100% pure essential oil. That's one big thing. There's a lot of essences of essential oils or fragrances of essential oils, which are ultimately synthetic compounds that are not related to the actual flower. The second thing to look for, repping sage, but I know that we do it, is that we have a Health Canada certification on all of our single note essential oils,
Okay.
which you can find within the NPN database through Health Canada's website. So ours undergo things like rigorous third-party testing and constant regulatory review to ensure that what's in the bottle is what it is. And the third one to really check is like, take a look around at different companies and really start to understand where they're sourcing them from, and whether it's either a sustainable practice or where like different parts in the world. Because essential oils are sourced all over the place, you might find that batch to batch it will vary in scent, but as long as you're getting that 100% pure certified oil, you should be getting a good quality product.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to skip forward to the next little area here, which is around pain management, specifically for both muscle and joint pain. So there's 3 that I've chosen to highlight here. A surprising one for everyone is usually lemongrass. This is an essential oil that comes from lemongrass, commonly found in Thailand is a huge source of it. And this one's really great to reduce lactic acid buildup. So you'll find this in a lot of products like bath salts, creams, and roll-on remedies. And it is an anti-inflammatory adaptogen. So with that being said, is when it's absorbed through the bloodstream, just like Tylenol or Advil, it'll go to that site that's impacted to deliver the benefit for the essential oil. Rosemary and peppermint both are actually considered natural vasodilators. So what that does is as it absorbs into your skin, it's going to open up the blood vessel to allow more circulation through an area, which is going to relieve any kind of pain. Rosemary, as a sidebar, is also commonly found in a lot of energy and focus-based products, as it's really great for stimulating mental capacity. And then we've got peppermint, which is commonly found in a lot of pain management properties, really cooling and soothing on the skin. This is something that's going to increase circulation, and you're going to notice an immediate relief from muscle and joint pain. If any of you have ever used like icy hot patches or tiger bombs, things like that, those will often contain some kind of menthol or peppermint, which will create that same sensation.
So when it comes to peppermint, it's that's an essential oil. You actually rub it on the skin instead of dip it into the humidifier. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're looking more for that like that pain management, it's definitely better applied topically to the skin versus breathing that essential oil in.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm curious, was there anything from this like pain management, stress, or immune boosting that you've used or that you'd be a little bit more curious in using?
I brought my sage with me tonight.
Amazing. Yay!
I'm obsessed.
Oh my gosh.
I have mostly what I have is the pain stuff. I'm a distance runner, so the pain release rub-on stuff I really like for like the knees and stuff afterwards. And then I have peppermint halo.
Amazing.
For headaches and neck pain and stuff like that. And I love them.
So great. Okay, that makes me smile. That's great.
Yeah. When I saw your asynchronous, I was like, oh my God, she works for Sage.
That's so good. I love them. You need to try extra strength when you get the chance.
Yeah, probably. I'm definitely interested in like the energy and focus kind of stuff. I think would be helpful throughout the day. So I don't know what ones are good for that.
Yeah. Generally, a lot of our products and different recommendations that I have for energy or citrus-based oils, most of them are going to be really nice and mood uplifting. So for especially those like 3 p.m. crashes where you're ready to call it quits on your workday, those are a really good option. Rosemary is a massive one. That one is really, really good. I had somebody tell me once that their mom sent them off to university with a bunch of rosemary and said rosemary is for remembering, and that is stuck in my brain ever since they've told me that. And the other really great one too is anything that's going to kind of open up the sinus and airways. So things like eucalyptus and peppermint are also really great options too. I also I could go down a rabbit hole with this. A lot of really great hormone balancers, can also be great to help with energy throughout the day, as kind of stress will shift your hormones throughout. Things like clary sage or geranium are really great for taking deep breaths of that, just to kind of help ground and reset.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I like I never really thought of using the oils on my actual skin, because like I have a diffuser, so I use lemongrass and peppermint all the time. And then I know I use all natural skin products, so that is already always built in, with all that stuff, right?
Totally.
So, but I never thought of using like peppermint for body aches and stuff like that. I usually just use a heating pad or something like that. But
Totally.
I totally get it, because it's either a mint tea or a chamomile tea, and then the same thing, my diffuser.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to like kind of make that connection.
It is, yeah, and just opening it up into different routes and how you can use it. Essential oils in their own are 80 to 100 times more potent than the plant material. So it's something that you can use so much less of and really get a higher benefit. Often if you're trying to change different ways or add different parts to your wellness routine. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. I use tea tree oil too. So like, I have all those
great.
at home anyway.
Yeah, my house is a sage store.
I bet.
Awesome. Okay. Are there any other questions? If not, I'll throw out kind of another poll for us to kind of finish out the evening and round out the session. No? Feeling okay. All right, awesome. I will throw out this last little poll again. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You're live. Okay, awesome. And this one and share it. Okay, great. So it looks like learning outcomes were succeeded. You are knowing the benefit of essential oils now. You're likely to use them a little bit more, and you know more about them from the beginning of the session. So I love that. If you have any like questions that are burning and you really feel like reaching out, by all means, I'm an open book. I'd love to talk about this topic. So I'm happy to share anything more with you. But other than that, I'd love to end our evening together. And thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really good.
Good. Awesome. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Lauren. Have a great evening, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.